Close your eyes. Take a few moments here to settle. So with the nice weather and the weekend and this summer energy in the air, it's really yang, it's really active and go, go, go energy. See if you can just bring yourself back down to earth. And really feel the sensation of your hips glued down to the floor. Imagine the heaviness of your body connecting down towards the earth. Let your shoulders relax completely. And we'll work together through pure breathing, which is just a fancy word for guided breathing. So clear out any air. That might mean a big exhale. And breathing in and out through your nostrils, inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, your belly puffs out in all 4 directions. Take an extra sip at the top. Exhale, feel your body start to come back down to earth. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. Big 5 count breaths in and out through your nostrils. Starting to shed everything that has happened before this class, this moment. Imagining that this breath is just clearing out, cleansing out, or wringing out any of the grime in your body, in your brain. For resetting for today. 1 minute here on your own. Keep your eyes closed, bring your hands together at heart center. And take a moment here to set an intention for your yoga practice. Maybe there's a feeling you want to experience, an ache you want to dissolve. Set that intention, take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale out through your mouth. Good. Blink open your eyes. Take your hands out beside you. Inhale, spread your fingers wide. Reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, rotate by any amount over towards the right. Inhale back through center. Rotate by any amount towards the left. Just a tiny movement. Come back through center, glue your hands together and lower them down to your chest. Let's try that again. Inhale, nice and slow, reach your arms up. Once you get to the top, the exhale takes you into this tiny rotation to the right. Inhale back through center. Exhale, tiny rotation to the left. And inhale back through center, hands collide and lower down to your heart. Good. This time, inhale, reach your arms up. Rotate towards the right. Take your right hand back behind you. Take your left hand across your right thigh and start to peer back behind you by any amount. Good. Inhale, reach both arms up. You can look up. Exhale, rotate towards the left. Take the opposite hand back behind you. A gentle spinal twist here. And then bring it all back through center. Reach your arms up high. On the exhale, just bend at your elbows. So you create these little goalpost arms. Take your fingers onto your shoulders and start to roll your elbows around in circles. And that's just 3 big circles in each direction, mobilizing your shoulder joint. This class is all about upper body. So we're doing head, neck, shoulders, big back bending shapes. Good. Take your hands down and find your strap for your long thing that can perform as a strap. I'll give you a second to get that. Those of you that have your strap ready, reach your hands out in front. And honestly, if you don't have a yoga strap, you could use a t-shirt, you could use a tea towel, whatever you have kicking around, just grab something. Good. Allow your shoulders to drop down a little. Pull your belly button in so your lower back doesn't feel compromised here. Take a breath in and reach your arms up overhead. Just stop there. Exhale, bring them back out in front of you. So this is a little shoulder exercise. Keep going up and down. It's called shoulder flossing. And for your body, you might be limited to this range of motion. So this might be the whole experience for you, and that's okay. For some bodies, you might have a little more room in your shoulders to go back, and you might come back just a few inches and then pull forward again. So you're just inching a little bit further and further into this big, big, big shoulder opening. For some bodies, and some people who have really long straps, it'll be easier. You can take your arms and float them all the way back behind you. That's it. So then you bring them back up and over, and you're getting that full range of motion through your shoulder joint. You can take your hands wider to make this easier on you, or you can bring them closer and it can become a little harder. So just play with this movement about 5 more times, opening and closing through the shoulder joint. You're really just weaving through any tension that gets built up when you're sitting and typing all day long. And when you've done 5 or so rounds of that movement, reach your arms up and just leave them here. Good. Wiggle your bum a little, relax your shoulders a little, take a breath in, stretch your fingers or your fists, I guess, up even higher. And then as you exhale, you're just tilting like you're a little teapot, short and stout, pouring over to the side. Breathe in here, right into that left side body. Breathe out, tilt a little further. And then pull it all the way back up and tilt over to the other side. Make sure both sit bones are pushing down into the floor. Come up again and fall ever so slowly over to either side. Good. Last time here to the left. Return back to center. Okay, from here, keep the strap in your left hand and drop your right hand. I'll turn around so you can see. Bend into your left elbow, bend into your right elbow, and either catch the strap or maybe you can collect your hands together. Now, when you get into this big shoulder stretch, think about opening your shoulders out without pushing your belly button forward. So you're also containing through your core. There you go. Take a big breath in. Exhale. Let's try that on the other side. So take your arms out. Reach the opposite hand up. Maybe you're switching your strap. Maybe your hands come together. The body's funny, right? I can't connect my palms on this side, but I can on the other side. So just notice any of those little things that might be happening for you too. Take a breath in. Good, and then exhale and take your strap down, place it out beside you. Just shake out your shoulders. Shake out your shoulders. You got it. And work your way all the way down onto all fours. If you have sensitive knees, you can take a blanket underneath your knee joints. We always start with a little bit of quadruped work in my yoga classes, always and forever. This is my favorite thing to do. Take a deep breath in, drop your belly down, roll your shoulders back, and shine your heart and chest forward. Now, as you exhale, you'll puff between your shoulder blades, look towards your tummy and round into your upper back. Keep going, spinal extension as you come forward. This is called cow pose. And spinal flexion, oh no, that's, yeah, cow pose, and spinal flexion is cat pose. So keep dropping your spine, pulling your shoulders back, lifting your chest up and through, and then undoing that action. And when I teach this to the little kids at Archie's school, when we come up into cow pose, we say moo. We say meow when we come into cat pose. There you go. Try that one more time. In and out. Then come right back into a neutral spine. Pause here. Step your hands forward quite far, but stay pierced down through the fingers. So your fingers are really active. You're coming towards puppy pose. That means your hands are active, strong, straight arms, forehead and chest down towards the floor, but your bum is lifted up high, just above your knee joints. Take a breath in here, really push the floor away. Exhale, drop your chest. Good, feel that working your upper back as you climb back up onto your hands, back onto all fours. Can you take your right arm and reach your right arm to the ceiling? Sink your bum back towards your heels, scoop your right arm under, lower your right ear to the floor, and walk your left fingers away. Pause here. Stay in this little twisted child's pose shape. You might need to take a block under that right ear. You might opt to walk your left fingers across your yoga mat, deepening the side stretch. Or you can even bend into your left arm and really focus on the outer right shoulder. Breathing in and out. Push your left hand into the floor. Take your right arm, reach it all the way up, and then place it back down on your mat. Scoop your left arm up and away, and sweep your left arm underneath your right arm. Stretch that right arm forward. Your left ear can come to your shoulder or to your block, maybe to the floor. Good, breathing here. 5 deep breaths, really letting your body kind of come down with this pose. Push into your right hand. Take your left arm out, reach it all the way back up. And then lower your left hand down, move your block out to the side, and pull your body back up onto all fours. Good. From here, spread your fingers nice and wide. Open your left knee out towards the left and start to make circles with your left. Now you're mobilizing the hip joint. Really, really slow therapeutic work here. We'll get into more of a flow shortly. Take that knee around in opposite direction. Good. And once you've done those movements, extend your left leg, point your toes to face down towards the floor, hug your belly button in, and stretch your right hand forward. Pause here. You're just holding bird dog today. Holding bird dog for a count of 5. Good job. 4, 3, 2. On one, drop those limbs down. You might reset by dumping your belly down and doing one cycle of cat-cow pose. And then come back to center, bend your left knee and take 3 big hip circles with, or your right knee, take 3 big hip circles with your right leg in each direction. So just peeling that hip joint around and around in its socket. Keep your belly driving in towards your spine before you extend your right leg all the way out. Make sure that right hand is beneath your right shoulder and kick your left arm forward. Holding here in bird dog, notice if you're collapsing into that cow spine. You don't want a big arch in your lower back. Instead, imagine that you could take a block and place it on your lumbar spine and it would not fall off. So there's lots of steadiness here. Good, one more breath in. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Pop up between your shoulder blades, flex your feet, activate your core and lift your knees just a few inches away from the floor. So your knees are hovering. It's definitely starting to feel like a little bit of work. So the heat begins to build gradually in flow sequences. Can you now push your hands into the floor, lift your hips high and come into your first downward facing dog. When you get there, you might move any props out to the side. Shake your head no or yes, bend deeply into one knee as you pedal the opposite heel down towards the earth. And then once you've wiggled your way into this shape, just pause and breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. You might take Ujjayi breath, where you latch your tongue towards the back of your 2 front teeth. Gently constrict your throat and breathe in a way that sounds like ocean waves, that sounds a bit more audible than your regular breath. Good. Look forward, take a bunch of mini tiny steps all the way to the top of your yoga mat. When you get there, press your hands into your shins, lift your spine up halfway, and let the exhale hold you down. Head is so heavy here, catch opposite elbows, and just wave your body from left to right. Maybe open and close your mouth, shake your head yes or no. Good. And now release your hands to the floor, tuck your chin, and start to slowly unravel. If your back is hurting, come up with a straight spine. Otherwise, big, big, big rounded spine all the way to the top. You might find a little shift in blood pressure here, catch your breath, and just start to move your shoulders around and around. These movements are so simple. And in my head, I think that I would do them all day long, but I don't. Turn your shoulders around in the other direction. Try to integrate this whenever you can, right? Little tiny movements are so good for our body. Come back up to the top of your yoga mat. Set your feet hip distance and parallel. And pick up all 10 toes. Spread them really wide and then pin them back down onto the floor. They feel like they're glued there. Inhale, reach your arms forward and up, look up. Exhale, palms come together as you fold down towards your mat. Legs start to straighten, get into your hamstrings. Reach your hands up your legs, lengthen your spine forward. You're in that halfway lift. And now exhale, plant your palms, step back to a plank pose and hold here. Hold here, find your breath. You can always work from your knees or high plank. I will be integrating lots of little core activities into these classes, just sprinkling them in so you hardly notice that they're there until you notice that they're there, and it becomes easier to hold plank for 30 seconds here and there throughout class. Take a big breath in through your nose. Now drop your knees if you haven't already. Drop the tops of your toes, bend into your elbows and lower to your tummy. Loop your shoulder blades back, push through your hands. They stay connected to the floor. Push through the tops of your feet, baby cobra. Lower back down. Flex your feet, push into your hands, push into your knees, belly is strong. Lift up through plank into downward facing dog. Let's breathe here. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale out all your air, bend into your knees, look forward, hop or step to the top of your mat, spring up halfway and fold, let it go. Push into your feet, spiral your arms, chest, heart, everything lifts up. Exhale, take your hands to your heart and pause. Take a beat in mountain pose. Just notice how your body's feeling here. You're still in our warm-up, so let's go again. Inhale, sweep your arms up. This time on the exhale, fold forward, but reach your arms all the way back behind you. Interlace them if you can. And maybe on the exhale, you reach your hands back beyond your head. They can also stay glued to your lower back. Maybe you're just holding onto your t-shirt if your hands can't connect. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose as you do more deep work on your shoulders. Release your hands first to your lower back, then down to your shins. Straighten your legs, lengthen your spine. Plant your palms and step back into plank pose again. Good. The belly button is pulling up and towards your spine. It feels like you're wearing a little corset. Imagine that. Good. Puff between your shoulder blades. Stretch the crown of your head forward. Reach your heels back. Keep breathing here. 10 more breaths. Always have the option to drop your knees. Notice if you're piking your hips up and it looks more like a downward dog, try to drop your hips to the place where you feel your core starts to rumble and shake. 5 more seconds here. Stick with it. You can do anything for 3, 2, and 1. Drop your knees, bend your elbows, drop your chin in your chest. Release everything down. Roll your shoulders back, lift your heart in your chest, baby cobra. Let's add on here. Release back down to the floor. Take your fingers outside of your yoga mat. Hike up your elbows and push down, curl 10 toes. Inhale, lift your heart and your chest by any amount. So here's some of the spinal extension we're working through. You can come up really high or stay really close to the floor, whatever feels good. Do that 2, maybe 3 times, pulsing your weight up and down. And then bring your body back down towards the floor. Really dip your left shoulder down and just peer over your right shoulder. Dip your right shoulder down, peer over your left shoulder. Palm back through center. Ground your palms. Push up through high plank. See if you can get there in one movement. Find downward facing dog. 5 breaths at your own pace here, in and out through your nose. You can always opt for child's pose instead. Nice work. Bend your knees, look forward, hop or step forward. Inhale, slide up, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Bend into your knees, reach your arms all the way up, stretching your body long. Exhale, take your hands to your heart center and find your mountain pose. Good. If it's okay for your joints, can you bring your feet together? So your big toes will touch. There's a little space between your heels. Spread the rest of your toes nice and wide, and then inhale, bend down into your knees and find chair pose, pause here. So notice what's happening in your body. Notice if you're leaning forward or if you're flinging back. And see if you can find a place where your belly button pulls into your spine, the tailbone is scooping under. So your quads are doing a ton of work here. Good. Arms can be right out in front. If your shoulders are feeling nice and open, you might lift them up overhead. Keep readjusting till you find that place that feels like a place you want to get out of, but you're going to push through and hold, break through some of those muscle patterns for 3, 2, and 1. Fold forward, release all that work. Inhale, lift up halfway. Note the repetition here. Exhale, plant your palms, step into your plank. Hold in high plank or low plank. If your wrists are feeling a little uneasy, you can come down into forearm plank. Breathing here, 10 breaths. Stay with it. Engage your core, make it even stronger so you're less likely to just plop out of the pose. Plop feels like the right word there. Good, for 3, 2, on 1, try to bend into your elbows and lower slowly down onto your belly. Good. When you get here, take your hands behind you. Maybe you interlace them. Maybe you use your strap. Slide your shoulder blades in towards one another. Steady the body, take a breath in. We will use the exhale to lift up. So exhale, your heart lifts, your feet lift, your knees lift, your shins lift. Maybe your whole body is really just balancing on your pelvis here. Good, bring it up a titch higher. And release, everything comes down, right ear settles on the floor, relax your hands, and just wiggle your bum out. You can hang out here. You can take a little rest here, or bend into your knees. Level your head back to center and reach your hands back, catching your ankles. So if this is hurting your quads or your knee joints, take the last variation or just take a little rest on your belly. Otherwise, let's inhale and then exhale, pick it up, up. Kick your feet away and pull them towards you at the same time. Good. So you're working here on opening through the front line of the body. You're working on using the resistance you've created with your hands and your legs to getting a deeper quad stretch. Lift your heart even higher for 1 more breath. And this time, as you let it all go, your left cheek comes to the floor, legs relax, bum can wiggle. Good, slip your hands alongside your body, plant your palms, try to push right up into that strong plank before you reach back into a downward facing dog. Now in downward dog, take your right leg, reach it high, bend into your knees so that pelvis opens nice and wide. And go ahead and step your right foot between your hands. Push through the 4 corners of your foot as you reach your arms up into a nice high warrior lunge. Keep sinking deeper into your front knee and pushing back through your left heel. Feel that left thigh active, lots of work in your lower body. If there's tension in your shoulders, just bend at your elbows. Keep lifting through your heart and chest. And then open out into warrior 2. So you'll simply turn your left toes to face that long edge of your mat. Opening both arms wide, peer over your right middle finger. If this right knee is caving in, can you think about externally rotating your femur bone, drawing that knee, if there was a little flashlight on it, right over your 3rd toe. And then hug the knees in towards one another. Hug the legs in towards one another. Good. Take another breath in. Sink a little deeper on your exhale. Drop your back hand down your back thigh. Reach your right arm up and behind you. Inhale. And now let's exhale. Take your right hand right onto your right thigh. Imagine my hand came right onto your left hip and started to pull or force that left hip open. You're really waking your body up to the side here before you take your left arm to the ceiling. If you feel steady, you might straighten that bottom arm so you're not using the leg to bear weight. This becomes a lot more work in the legs. Good. Take a breath in. On the exhale, push through your legs, straighten your arms. You're still in warrior 2. And then get out of warrior 2, straighten your front leg. Reach your right fingers forward. Tilt them down like that teapot shape and find Trikonasana. Your left hand can be lifted or resting on your left hip. So in these poses, our goal today is not to create more shoulder pain. So if you feel any shoulder pain, just take the modifications. Good, one more big breath comes in. And now press into your front foot, lift all the way up, and turn your right toes to face forward. Same direction as your left toes, interlace your hands behind your back, or grab your strap and use your strap to connect your hands behind your back. Take a breath in as you lift your heart up, open your chest. And now as you exhale, hinge forward. If it feels like your feet are too wide or too narrow, they probably are, so readjust them. You have the option to float your hands back behind your head. Maybe they stay glued to your lower back. One more breath like that. And then carefully lower your hands first to your lower back, then down to the floor right beneath your face. Hands set under your shoulders, lift your heart and chest up, look up. Good, fold down. Come back up with a long spine. Place your right hand to the center. I like to use my block here, so you can place your right hand under a block or on a block. Try to keep your hips relatively level as you take your left arm up to the sky. Good, release that hand down. Go ahead and switch sides. So doing this little opening on either side. You got it. Lower the hand back down. Move your block out to the side if you haven't already. Could you now bend into your left knee? Bend into your left knee, lift your right toes up. This is a lot of work on the inner groin. So if you're a new mom, take it easy here. Maybe there's balancing in Skandasana. Maybe your hands lift up to your heart. Maybe not. You might be tumbling all over the floor. This can be a tricky pose if you haven't done it in a while. And then move nice and slow. I always think of Spider-Man when I move my body from side to side in this shape. Come to the other side. That might just be because Archer and Austin are mostly always in Spider-Man related clothes. Hands come to your heart. Yeah, good, good, strong balancing, big inner groin stretch. Pull it back through center. Let's keep playing from here. Can you heel toe your feet in so they're just beyond hip distance apart? Think sumo wrestler squat. Take your hands to your thighs or giving birth. Hands to your thighs. Yeah, and now just drop your left shoulder down and look back behind you. Pull back through center, drop your right shoulder down and look back behind you. That's it. One more time, either side. Pull through neutral, scoop your pubic bone up, open your arms wide. You're in goddess squat. Good. Stay here and breathe for 10. 9, if you want more work, you lower deeper. 8, 7, scoop your pubic bone up, tailbone down. 5, 4, maybe reach your arms wide for 3, 2, and 1. A slow ascent out of the pose. Bring your hands to heart center. Close your eyes. Just notice what's happening. Big, deep breaths. Open your eyes, step to the top of your mat. We will do that same sequence on the other side, and then it's cool down time. That's it. So bend into your knees. Let's take them hip distance apart this time. Reach your arms up. Find Utkatasana. Notice the arcing or rounding in your lower back and try to find what feels like neutral. It's hard to know, I know. Sink your hips a little deeper here. Maybe reach your arms a little higher. And now fold all the way down to the floor. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your palms, step back into a plank pose. This time, you can work on holding plank. You'll be here about a minute. Or come into side plank. Take your right hand beneath your nose, roll onto the outside edge of your right foot, and lift your left arm up. You have the option to lift your hips even higher, lift your left leg up, and stretch your left arm alongside your left ear. So you're creating this giant line through your whole body. Good, let's pull out of that, push into downward dog. Inhale there. Exhale, slide forward into high plank again. Take your left hand under your nose, roll over onto the outside edge of your left foot. That might be your final destination, or you can reach your right arm up. Or reach your right leg up and stretch your right arm alongside your right ear. Think about lifting the hips, pushing the pubic bone forward. Good, release, hands come down to the floor. Let's pulse back to down dog, inhale. Exhale, forward to high plank. Drop your knees, bend your elbows, and lower all the way down to the floor. Good, this time, you can take your arms and stretch your arms forward alongside your ears. Create space for yourself. So if you're running or crashing into something, rather move back, move forward, do what you need to do. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, pick everything up. Good, and start to move your body like you're making a snow angel. Okay, so you're opening your arms and legs. Arms can be straight, mine have to be bent because I keep running into things here in my dining room. But you're just opening and closing your body. You'll feel that in the back line. So you're working your lats and your glutes for 5, 4. If this hurts your lower back, lie on your belly. 2 and 1. Release it in. Take 5 breaths here. Prep your body, flex your feet, push your hands down, press up into a low plank or a high plank. Find downward facing dog. Now, stretch your left leg high to the sky. Bend the knee, open your hip nice and wide. Send your left foot all the way forward, lots of stability. So big wide stance here before you push into your warrior lunge. That's it. Settle. So notice how the body comes into these shapes and instantly reacts with tension. See if you can find some softness in these upper limbs. Let the tension and the strength be in the lower body for this series. Open towards warrior 2. Arms are wide, peer over your left fingers, and deep into your left knee. Good. Think about rooting through the soles of your feet, really pushing down. And then drawing up through the inner arches of your feet. Drawing your inner thighs up and back. You got it. Let's take our right hand down our back thigh, lift our left arm up and back behind us. And then curl the body forward, bend into your left elbow. Your right arm goes to your hip, maybe to the sky. Keep drawing your right shoulder back, tucking your left hip under. And maybe there's enough strength in those lower limbs to extend your left arm so you're not collapsing. Your legs are in fact doing all of the work here. Breathe. Amazing. Push into your feet, lift up, settle into your warrior 2. And now go ahead, straighten your left leg, reach your left fingers forward, and find Trikonasana with that right arm extended up or bent down. There's lots of variations in Trikonasana, right? You can bend your right elbow and try to reach around for that left thigh, guiding it into deep external rotation. Push into your feet, lift all the way back up. And then take your back foot and let's step forward to the top of our yoga mat. Step forward to the top of your yoga mat. Good. A moment to catch your breath. From here, bound down through the sole of your left foot. Take your right foot into your right hand, working towards a playful variation of dancer's pose. Really, really nice spinal extension and quad stretch comes here. Reach your left arm up. This is option one. I'll give you 3 stops you can get off on this pose. Option 2 is to simply extend your back leg back, like you did an upward bow, and lift your heart forward. Option 3, for the wild ones, you might play with taking your left hand to the floor and then trying to lift it all the way back up, and it is not easy. Don't be fooled. So you get to choose your own adventure here. 5 breaths, either in stillness or movement. Good, let it all go. And take your hands wide and just flop your hands around from side to side. Good, reset back at center. Right foot glues down, bend into your left knee. Pick the foot up. Level out your hips. So those 2 frontal hip bones, those pokey bones at the front of your body, see if they can stay on the same plane. As you start to tilt your weight forward, kick that leg back, and maybe extend your right arm. Beautiful pose. This can be your work. You could stay there, or you might play with destabilizing yourself and then teaching your muscles how to take care of you when you fall off balance. 5 breaths. Back through center. You shake it all up. Step your feet about mat distance apart, toes point out, and take your bum down wherever you are in your squat. We're just taking 3 breaths here. So your body might look like this, up on the heels. You might be slinking right down towards the earth. Good, work your hands behind you, sink your bum down, and stick the soles of your feet together. Butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. Catch your ankles with your hands. You could catch your big toes too. Inhale. Exhale, take it forward. Do this in a way that feels good for your body. You might stay still, you might move. 5 breaths. Unravel really slowly. Tilt your body weight over towards the left. Take your right leg either halfway back for deer pose. Our target stretches your outer left hip, or all the way back for pigeon pose. You can snuggle towards the floor here. A little bit of time. I'll give you about 30 seconds here, so really sink in. Take one more breath in and out. Lean your weight towards your left. Bring your right leg forward. Listen carefully. Right leg comes forward and extends out on a V. So that left foot can tuck into your inner right thigh. Two choices. The first option is just to fold over your right leg. The second option is to make this more of a lateral stretch. So take your peace and love fingers around your right big toe and then drive your left arm up and over. Maybe you can catch that foot. Breathing for 5 breaths wherever you decide to go. Unwrap, take your left arm up, lift up. Can you, all of you, reach your left arm back behind you, plant your right foot into the floor, lift your pelvis up and reach your right arm back. Yes, the pelvis is lifting. You can straighten out the right leg again, some support on the shoulder here, lower back down. Good. Go ahead and try that shape on the other side. So we'll go into pigeon after. Take your left leg into the V shape and plug your right foot into your inner left thigh. Either fold forward over that left leg or take the side stretch. So your left peace fingers come around your big toe, the left shoulder and head are released as the right arm reaches up overhead. 5 breaths wherever you decide to go. Good. Pull back up out of that pose. Take your right hand down behind you. You can either bend your left leg or keep it straight to lift up. So you're really balancing on your right shin, your right hand. Start your left arm behind you. Big back opening. And then release back down. And you can move a little bit martial artisty here as you kick your left leg back into your pigeon pose. Readjust until this feels safe in your body. You can always take thread the needle on your back. And just melt away here. You have some time to enjoy. Good. Push your hands down, pull your chest up, lean over onto your right hip, sweep your left leg forward. And let's slide right down onto our spine. You've made it so far. Just a few more stretches before Shavasana. Rock your knees from side to side. And then let your knees just fall over towards the right. You might bend at the elbow, maybe the arm opens wide. Take a few cycles of breath in this deep spinal twist. Amazing. Come back through center. Over to the other side.
Beautiful. Back through center. Take a moment here and just check in. So if there's any shapes you feel you need to close your practice with, you have 10 breaths to go there. Maybe a happy baby, a bridge, whatever feels good. And then get nice and cozy, maybe putting on socks or sweaters, wrapping a blanket around you as you drop your body down for final Shavasana. Come to lie flat on your back. Sometimes during online yoga, it's really easy to sneak away during Shavasana. And so the invitation is not to, is to lie flat on your back and imagine that your body is quite literally glued to the floor. Your eyelids are glued shut, so you don't have the chance to look around you, check your phone, notice the dust bunnies under your couch. Instead, you're going to just be here in stillness for 3 whole minutes, and I promise I'll pull you out after those 3 minutes are up. Enjoy. If you're so lucky to have some time to spare, you might turn this class off and just linger here in Shavasana. Otherwise, we'll start to bring little movements into our fingers, our toes, our head and jaw. And take a breath in, stretch your arms up overhead, reach your toes long. And sigh. Oh, we yawn on the exhale. And bend into your knees. Shift over onto either side. And nice and slow, push yourself all the way back up. Come to a cross-legged seat. Take your hands to your heart. Breathe in your intention that you set for this practice. And breathe out to let it go. Thank you always for practicing. Keep practicing. Namaste.